Hello everybody, my name is Aidie and this is my 2023/2024 English Premier League table prediction. As you guys see, I'm a big Chelsea fan here, so my prediction will be a bit biased towards the Chelsea side. In the 20th position, the relegation zone, I think we'll have Luton Town. This Luton Town has a little bit of fairy tale story with them. Their first ever Premier League division, first time facing the elite teams in the English in APL. Right now, I don't see them staying in the Premier League because actually I think they actually very did a scrappy season for them to enter the to actually qualify for the playoffs and everything. Their away goal records is very bad, so I think I'll have Luton Town up down there at 20. Right, up next in the 19th position, Wolves. Honestly, now with the departures, Ruben Neves, Joe Moutinho, Traore, Nathan Collins, I think they'll struggle. But they actually brought a few decent signing in, like for example Fabio Silva and Gonzalo Guedes. I don't see them staying. I just don't know why. Yeah, because actually last season I saw them struggle a lot. On the 18th last relegation spot, I think is be another newly promoted team, Sheffield United. Sheffield United actually had 5 players went out and key players as well. Yeah, I don't see Sheffield United staying. I mean, previously Sheffield United when they are in the Premier League, they were really good. They were very defensively disciplined and everything. Now I don't see them stay in the Premier League next season. Next we have the 17th spot. I actually had Bournemouth in the 17th, near relegation, but not relegation because they actually bought a few signings. Yeah, for example, Justin Kluivert from AS Roma. I don't think Bournemouth will be in a mid table. I think they'll be fighting for to avoid relegation with the other 3 teams. So right after Bournemouth, we have 16th spot, and 16th spot I actually have Nottingham Forest. Last season, Nottingham Forest finished 16 in the league. So the upcoming season, I think they'll still finish 16 because they have a few players that actually went out. Actually, the previous season they actually bought a lot of players. Not just newly promoted team. Then suddenly they bought in a lot of players. Now this season, a lot of players are out of contract. So for example, Jack Colback, Swell Club now, Jesse Lingard, Andre Ayew, Jordan Smith. All these players, Brendan Lodi is Brendan Lodi and Kylian Navas is has ended the loan. All the key players are up. I think Nottingham Forest got the chance to actually fight for mid-table. I think they will also be another team fighting for relegation, Nottingham Forest. But this upcoming season, I don't think so. 15th place is an interesting one because we have the champions of the championship, which is Burnley. Vincent Company is actually doing really well with his Burnley side. They're playing fantastic football in the championship. It'll be interesting to see Burnley. I think Vincent Company's Burnley is really one of the teams to watch, honestly. Yeah, but I think they will stay in the Premier League because the way they play in the championship, I think is a Premier League level kind of playing style. All right, 14 we have Everton. The reason why I put Everton in 14 because Sean Dyche actually came in quite late last season to actually save Everton from the relegation battle. Actually, he did really well. Everton is signing a lot of players. For example, Ashley Young from Aston Villa for free. So I think Everton can actually stay up in the after this mid-table fight. On number 13, I actually have Fulham. Last season, Fulham actually played spectacularly well. I think they were in 10th position if I'm not wrong. I don't think they can produce the same kind of quality because I think players last season actually they were really good, but this season I don't think they can do it because you see why, because the teams on top of them are better in terms of quality. 12th place, another interesting one is I put Crystal Palace, and I think Crystal Palace can be another surprise package this season. I think they'll be fighting mid-table. 11, I actually have West Ham. The reason why I put West Ham at 11 is because they are going to fight against Premier League, and I think they have Europe because they actually won the Conference League last season. So got that wise, I don't think West Ham have it. So it'll be quite a busy season for West Ham. The European football for them next season and the Premier League, I think they'll focus more on the European season. Depends on their form in the Premier League, but I'll put West Ham in the 11th position. 10th place, I have Brentford. The reason why I put Brentford is because they have one of the best strikers in the Premier League, which is Ivan Toney. He's been sensational for them, and I think Brentford actually very set up quite defensively disciplined. It was very hard to break Brentford down. As you can see, they actually quite have a few surprising result against the big teams. Yeah? I think Brentford is also want to be a surprise package. Yeah? But this is the most I can give Brentford. To ninth place, Aston Villa. I put them at 9 because exceptionally great. I think Unai Emery is doing. I think Unai Emery is doing real well with this Aston Villa side since he came in and he actually brought in a lot of good players, quality players. I'm not sure whether Aston Villa will be playing in European football next season. Even if they are, they have squad depth. If not, then I think it's good for them. They can focus on the Premier League. I think Aston Villa will be in a ninth place, and Unai Emery's football is going to be sensational next season. In the eighth place, I actually put Brighton. The reason why I put Brighton in mid because I don't think they have the experience to play European football, so I think they will struggle in the European football. Then with that struggle, they actually affect the moral a bit for the Premier League. So that's the reason why I put Brighton down at seventh place. We have Tottenham Hotspur. I'm actually giving them a credit here from last season, eight, then going to seven because they actually brought in a lot of players. James Madison, Pedro Porro. Madison, I think, will help Son, Kulusevski, and Harry Kane out. So I think Harry Kane will really need that support. Harry Kane is a very good striker, one of the best in the Premier League, but he just don't have the support from the cam position. And Spurs finishing in the seventh place will be quite decent for them. Sixth place, I actually have Newcastle United. The most quality player that they bought is just Sandro Tonali from AC Milan. I have watched AC Milan play, and I think Sandro Tonali is quite a decent player. It's very decent, but for Premier League, I don't think so. Because Premier League is very fast paced, while the Serie A has pace actually improved from last time to now. Now Serie A is actually very quick. Serie A and Premier League actually is very different. It all depends on Sandro Tonali controlling the midfield. If Sandro Tonali actually fits really well with the Newcastle system, I think it'll be good. And if not, I think Newcastle will struggle. They will be playing in the Champions League next season, but and because of that, squad depth wise, I don't think Newcastle United has it. Newcastle United did really well last season, but this season I think they'll struggle because of European football. But we'll see how. And in the fifth place, I actually put Arsenal. I don't think Arsenal can replicate what they do last season. I think it's a pattern for them. They do well this season, then next season not well, not good. I think that's a pattern for Arsenal, unless this upcoming season they prove me wrong. But they actually bought in decent signing like Declan Rice, Timber, and also Kai Havertz from Chelsea. And because of they bought Kai Havertz from Chelsea, I don't think they'll do it. If you are a target man for the club, I think you need to be uh, consistent for the team. I mean, they have Gabriel Jesus up on top and Martinelli on the left, Saka on the right. I think those three should be still starting for Arsenal. Havertz can be the sub, maybe play in FA Cup, be a squad depth for Arsenal because they'll be playing in Champions League next season. Championship, I think they will focus more on both Champions League and Premier League because they have seen themselves being second place and then bottle the lead. As usual, Arsenal will lead and then after Christmas they'll drop down. It's a pattern. So I think Arsenal will put fifth. In fourth place, I actually have Chelsea. I think this season, Pochettino will be hungry. They would want to have Champions League football or European football next season. During the friendlies, new signing Nicholas Jackson, Christopher Nkunku, Diego Moreira, Malo Gusto, Andre Santos. Even though they actually sold this amount rivals Manchester United and Kai Havertz to Arsenal because the squad was too big. So real hard time. Graham Potter have a hard time finding which are the starting 11 for Chelsea. I mean, if injuries do not come for Ben Chilwell and Reece James, I think Chelsea will be a scary team next season because they do have European football next season, so they can just focus on the league. Squad depth is there. Midfield, I think Chelsea is there. Striker, we have two new strikers, Nkuku and Nicholas Jackson. I think they'll be a scary pair. Defensive wise is where I'm afraid of, with Thiago Silva getting quite old. Will still very young. Chalobah still young. I think the only worry part with Chelsea is the defense, but I think the attacking and midfield we are quite there. So I think this is the reason why Chelsea should at least aim for top four so you can play Champions League the upcoming season. Alright, in third place, I actually have Manchester United. Okay, the reason why I put Manchester United on third, they actually played good. The reason why I never put Man United first or second is because they are lacking the target man of up front. Because last season they actually have Berghuis. So far they have not signed anybody, but I think Rashford is still in the squad. So maybe Rashford playing the striker or maybe Sancho. Surprisingly, if Ten Hag decided to play Sancho up on top. Literally bought Mason Mount, Alex Telles, and Eric Bailly return. I think Johnny Evans also return if I'm not wrong. Still no target man up front, so I don't think Manchester United can go for the title unless they bring in a new striker up front. you know. So and De Gea is going out of the club. So and they bought in Andre Onana. So Andre Onana, I'll say Andre Onana will be a decent keeper. There's a lot of shenanigans from him, silly shenanigans from him. We see how he performed in the Premier League. In second place, I have Liverpool. And to tell you guys this, I don't like Liverpool. So for them, finishing last season fifth to second is a huge praise for them. Because why? Because they bought Soboslai and McAllister. I think these two midfielders are vital for Liverpool next season because I think what Liverpool was missing last season was actually the defense and the midfield. Striker wise, I think they are good enough already. Defense wise, I think Venda actually played badly last season. I think he was not in the top form like he was in the previous 2 seasons. McAllister is very used to the Premier League already since he already played for Brighton. So I think Liverpool will be up the second and they will be one of the scary teams. The champions. I still have Man City on top. I think Guardiola will still going for the title and the Champions League next season. Last season they won the treble. Alright, so they actually brought back Cancelo from Bayern and they bought Kovacic from Chelsea, and I think Kovacic will be a good second backup midfielder for them. And the striker Erling Haaland is unstoppable. They have De Bruyne. Jack Grealish was really good last season. I think if he replicates their form, he'll still. I think Man City will be a very dangerous team. So either way, I think Man City will always be champions. Will be the champions next season. But the ball is round. Anything can happen. Not round on my face, no. But anyways, these are my 2023/24 EPL predictions. I don't know what's the rest Hadi's or Hafiz predictions are, but we'll see how. Alright, see you guys.